I had a wild ride, and I do mean a wild ride. These last couple days, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to sketch this raven and get my head together. Because on top of that, I gotta go to hell tomorrow, which I don't really want to do that. This is where I'm at in the world. Alright. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. But hopefully everybody can hear me. I don't know who I'm gonna get at this time. But I like to spice it up sometimes. But here I go with my raven. If nobody comes on the stream and my cards are right here. I just been having one of those days. I was like, I need to go sketch out my problems. I gotta go to the courthouse. I must go get my cat. I don't even know what's gonna happen to her animals. I don't know, they might have to go to a shelter, and I don't know how I feel about that either. I don't know why she just can't be responsible, my son's ex, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna sketch out the head of this raven. I don't know, this is gonna be a disaster or a non disaster. We'll see. Alright. I'm gonna hook this beak now. I'm gonna do this pencil. This beak is hooked up. Because I do love ravens. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the eagles also. But I want to say the raven is kind of like the raven better than the eagles. They are pretty epic. My son actually got one on camera, the one I've been looking for 2 years. In the metro parks, they got an actual eagle. They got a bald eagle in our metro parks, but I don't know. I'm here for tarot card readings, folks. I'm just sketching out a raven, that's all. I've been wanting to sketch out a raven for a little bit, and I guess I wasn't sure if I was ready for the raven, but maybe I should start practicing. I could do stitch and everything else. But I am doing tarot cards if you guys are interested, and it's free. I mean, if you don't like my reading, you can always go to someone else and it won't cost you anything out of your day. I promise. Alright. I'm going to smooth out his little head this way. And I kind of do this thing. I like to, I don't know, I just like to sketch and do things while I'm doing tarot card readings. I know it seems kind of weird, probably, but not everybody could just sit there, and I'd like to be doing stuff while I'm doing other stuff, if that makes any sense to you guys. It's just kind of how I am. When I got things on my mind, it's usually when I come over here. I decided just to do his first half of his body because I feel it would be easier. See, I got this already the wrong way this way. You gotta get lines over here. You gotta get your lines all together. You guys want to in sketching. All right. Yeah, that was what was going wrong with this raven. That has to be here, and this has to come out more this way. I did a really good stitch, but then I felt his head was too big. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. I do. I have really bad anxiety in my life, and my son is going through this whole thing with his girlfriend where she accused him of domestic, but there was no evidence of him hurting her, and he's sitting here in an ankle bracelet, and now she won't talk to any detectives. She's just crazy. I know when I went through my domestic years ago, usually there's some kind of evidence that she's not even trying to show up at court. It's just a messed up situation. It really is. So, honestly, I don't know if it's what states you guys are living in or whatever, but if you're having problems domestically with your significant others, try to make sure that you have backup plans, because my son literally never said it a lot to us, and by the time he did, he's now has an ankle bracelet and all this, and the late girl has no evidence. He done went to jail for a week, and after he went to jail for a week and done all of this, and his dad bailed him out of jail, they'll probably let him out, but the thing is, sometimes you have to spend time in jail and all this, and it's a woman's state over here, and I'm a woman saying this, so if you're in one of these states like Ohio, I'm just warning you guys, just be careful. Just don't believe everything a female says. Don't. Because it's like, and I had to tell him today, the reason that we were not, she won't let us, she didn't like the fact that the whole thing is they have a kid, but she was seeing another guy and told me and said she wanted to be with the other guy, and I was just like, well, and this was when they first started dating, and I said, well, you should let him know. And for close to 4 years, she didn't let him know, and then all of a sudden, and I guess she cheated on him twice, and then he ended up going to jail for something he didn't do, and now they're going to be letting him out of jail. And he got out of jail, and he's probably going to be let off on all these charges that supposedly he did but didn't do. And now she won't even talk to the court, and she's the one who initiated it all. I mean, you could get in a whole stinking bunch of problems with certain situations. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. Hang on. Here we go. I've been trying to do this, and I got this nice little briefcase because I'm a small channel. I mean, I gotta do my own content and all that, and I don't have the kind of money like some others have. I wish I had all kinds of studio equipment. That'd be nice, but I don't. Maybe one day, because I would like to do other stuff in between. I like to do whatever I'm in the mood for. So I hope you guys could see it. I do try. I really do. And I do appreciate all your guys' support. So I do try to make the best videos I can. And I do try to tell you guys too about things and about real life things that happen. I even told my son that he should come on here and just kind of talk about domestic stuff. Just so, guys in general can have a view because it's not right what's going on in Ohio because there's a lot of guys going to jail for something they truly did not do because they do take the woman's word first. And I'm a woman saying this. I don't think, unless there's undeniable doubt, I don't think it should be go like the way it goes in Ohio. I really don't. In some states, it's not like this, but it's like this here. I mean, I was trying to adopt a child, and the mother was a drug addict, and we had the room and everything, and she ended up abusing her other two kids, and they ended up just giving her back her kids. And then they had to take them right back, and we were right there for adoption, and that's the way it is. So I don't know. Life is sometimes unpredictable, my friends. Alright, his eye is right up in here. I gotta get this eye good. But I'm gonna stay in here until I finish my raven if you guys want anything and yap about my little stuff. But if you guys want to talk about something, I'm always open to other topics. Just let me know if you're here and we could talk and things like that. But I'll let you know what's going on in my life first. Alright, I'm gonna shade in his eye like I did this skull. I don't know, this raven might turn out halfway decent. Possibly. I put out this crystal today too. Oh, crud! Regents. Pregnancy reading, please. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I know you are right. Sometimes what I'm thinking, I have nobody over here. I know I got you and Carl. Wow, I'm excited. Is this a happy pregnancy? Or an unhappy pregnancy? I'm excited for you. Me and my husband have been trying to have a kid for 10 years. It just got to the point where I just told my husband since I'm 50 and they said I still have I have no clue who that is. But yeah, we've been trying, and I told him, if we can adopt, and if one day I say I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. But yeah, I'm excited for you. It's always good to have a baby in the world. I have two boys myself. Boys could be very difficult, especially trying to guard them against women. But it is a hard job, but there has to be some good mothers out there with their head on their shoulders, and I think you could be one of those, Karan. I really do. Let's see what they say here. Let's give this a really good shuffle. I got a nice strong crystal with all my stuff going on with my son and his girlfriend. I mean, the baby might not even be his. He's been raising this kid for 2 years, and she's up there trying to accuse him of beating the hell out of her because she's mad at him, and it's crazy. My brother's over here. He stopped by and told me that everything's gonna be okay, and now they're fighting over the cat. The cat's in my name, and the microchip and everything is in there, and she don't want to give back the family cat. I never seen I never seen anything like this before. And then he said I'm the only one that could save Max. Go figure with my life. This is how my life is. You got a new moon in Cancer, and this is very good. It's about you and your loved ones. And a new moon in Cancer doesn't always mean. It doesn't always have to mean they're safe. They could just mean that's the energies around you and your loved ones. And then you got a blue moon with believing in the impossible, which is good because the baby's a blessing. Then you got a new moon in Scorpio, that just is working through your fears type thing. If you're scared or whatever, letting you know it's not going to be that bad. Honestly, I can see a potential pregnancy here. I really can. And I can see a possible marriage here. I really can. And congratulations. But yeah, I do actually see that, and I don't see anything negative in this. I see a possible marriage. Maybe this was what you were waiting for. Honestly. I mean, I know you've been looking for the love. I forgot that one song. Looking for love in all the wrong places. It was an old country song. I can see, but if it does have a disability, you should love it anyways. Love the baby. I mean, I technically am autistic, and my brother, he's high functioning slow, but I mean, if the baby does have a disability and stuff, it's not the worst thing. I mean, my mom had to take me to speech therapy when I was younger. Which is crazy because I do live streaming for fun and medical, so that's hilarious right there. But yeah, I went to go see. My mom took me to speech therapy, and I didn't speak for a while, and it was hard for me when I was younger to speak, and I would stutter a lot. I was always stuttering. That's probably why I take to arts and crafts so much because it helps my autistic brain focus. It really does. And a lot of people these days they are born with some. There's more and more autistic people being born now. I guess you just got to take what God gives you, but we could see. I'll do another reading on the baby. But sometimes, it's for the best. Sometimes just because you have a slight disability doesn't mean you can't do great things. I'm up here, and I had to take speech classes when I was younger. And then I took public speaking, and I seen Bill Clinton when he did his one speech for Bridge for the Future for a second time in term when I was in college. So I ended up going to college too. So it doesn't mean that you can't go to college and stuff with disability. Well, I mean, you could be active and have a disability. And honestly, a disability isn't always horrible, because normal people sometimes could be horrible. They lie, and sometimes they're not very nice. I mean, I've gotten in my life, but I'm just saying that because I'm on the spectrum. But I get it that sometimes it's hard taking care of a child in a wheelchair and stuff like that. Well, we got a fixed moon and for the baby, and this just means to, I don't know, it's like holding your vision, but I want to say it's more like a manifesting card and stuff like that. Which makes sense because the baby wouldn't be born and it's in its state where it's seeing the universe right now. And then you got a waning moon and a new moon in Leo. And the waning moon just it says that you have a lot of stress and things to kind of get out. I like to sketch, but I mean, you could cook or bake or anything. It doesn't even matter. Maybe if you like, bake a couple cakes or something. I don't know. And then you got a new moon in Leo, which is it's just a confidence card. I don't see any kind of disabilities. I think you'll be fine. And the baby looks like I just see the baby being fine too. But you should always respect people with disabilities. I mean, being on the spectrum, taking care of autistic kids and slower kids, I always kept that in mind because sometimes shit happens. And some people that are born with disabilities become the greatest minds of this century. Stephen Hawking had autism. Albert Einstein had autism. Depending on how far you are on the spectrum with it, which is, I hear it's pretty common because I am in the medical field. But what I would do is make sure that you're not smoking cigarettes. I heard you can vape, but it's kind of frowned upon when you're pregnant. I have heard of that, and the doctors are calling not for that. And I would take take a multivitamin every day because the baby needs certain things, and it's going to need extra protein, the baby. And that you're going to need just the whole enchilada. Just start eating healthy food. And try to get stuff that's protein packed. Because that's really your best bet for a healthy, so the baby has a healthy brain. A lot of people don't do that. Like if you have a low intake of calcium, because our brain has a lot of stuff it runs off of, but there's certain like brain stuff that it needs, especially now if you it seems that you might it's looking like you are. I would do stuff for early development that's going to make sure the brain is stable. So I would keep with vitamins, keep a sleeping regimen, and don't be stressed out and don't overexert yourself. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to work because I went to work up until I was 8 months, almost 9 months pregnant. So, yeah, you can get a general reading. But yeah, keep on your vitamins. And I know that the doctors say this, but I mean, I just tell you this as a medical professional. Because anything, the brain, it's always spine. Right now, the spinal cord's developing and the brain. So if you want the baby to have a healthy brain where it has healthy development, now is the time to eat well and stuff like that. So, And I tell everybody this because I've been in the field for 28 years and I've seen a lot. I've taken care of cancer people from, I worked a heart unit at Cleveland Clinic. I've done it all. I've done behavior health. This is why I'm over here. They want me to be at work all the time. I can't do it. It's stressful dealing with sick people all the time. Some of my friends are doing nonstop overtime and they act like crazy bitches. And I tell them I love them all, but I'll deal with you when you're not so crazy from working a lot. And this is how it is. But sky blessings, I like that. But yeah, and then if you have any more like questions that maybe you don't, I mean, ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor, not in the least. But I ask your doctor first, Karan. Definitely ask your doctor. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you. All right, are you still here, Sky Blessings? Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, keep me informed. I don't know if the Sky Blessings is here, if they left out. So I'll just talk to you instead. But yeah, and then another thing, like I was trying to think of during pregnancy, which is good to do, and this is even if you think you are. You want, I would, I'm trying to think of the good brain foods. Fish or fish oil. I've been taking fish oil for 20 years. Are you still here, Sky Blessings? But yeah, I've been taking fish oil for 20 years, and the brain thrives on fish oil. You're a vegetarian. Well, then take fish oil pills because it's something in the fish, and I say this because of I got nothing else better to do in my life but check to see what other countries are doing with their healthcare and their developments. In China and Japan, those guys live to their like 100 something, and when they are pregnant, they take this fish oil all the time. And I've took it for 20 years, and I've had really good skin, and my brain's been real sharp. And even if you're a vegetarian, I would definitely take the fish oil pills. They'll and do the omega 3 fish oil where it has it all. And that is actually really good for brain development for animals, humans, everything. So, and I've been taking it for years, and I've had, I mean, besides my tooth making my jaw get infected, I haven't really had a lot of problems like that. It was just stuff that's fixable. So, I mean, I will give you that. And if you're a vegetarian, you won't even taste it. You just swallow it. Well, yeah. I have nothing better to do. I read a book for that was 3,000 pages on the brain. And these are supplemental things the doctors debate on whether you should take or don't take. But if you take a lot of fish oil when you're pregnant, the baby's brain has really good development. And a lot of different countries in the U.S. I am a U.S. citizen, and I we are behind in healthcare. Behind a lot of different countries surpass us. And in China, that's what they do. They eat a lot of fish, and that's why they always are going for these fish oil pills. I take fish oil pills because I can't stand fish. I don't like them. I don't. I mean, I do like fish as a species. I like to have them as pets, but I don't like to eat them. And I was a vegetarian before, and then I got to the point where I was severely anemic. So I had to learn to eat the meat. And I eat it sparingly and I bless the meat before I eat it, and I thank the animal, and I think it's gross. I think it's gross to eat eggs. I don't like eating baby chickens. I'm really weird like this. I don't like it at all. But when I was pregnant, I tried to eat certain things, and I tried to take my fish oil pills and different things, and it really, my kids are like super smart. They really are. So, and you only have to take like one a day with your vitamins. And the doctors won't tell you this because in the United States they don't have these kind of studies. They're too busy dealing with tariffs than worrying about people's health issues. And I just say that that's because that's what's going on. We got auto parts being because of all these tariff wars. They're saying that people are going to be losing money like the businesses because they got to order out the parts and for everyone to pay the tariffs, which it's not their fault. I get it. I totally get it. It's President Trump. But because of this, a lot of people that have businesses are, they was in the news actually. It's going to be a shit show. I'm glad I don't have a car right now and all this climate going on. I am so glad. But yeah, I would do fish oil definitely, and stick with a lot of, another thing that's good for your immune system. Vitamin, don't take a lot of potassium. Don't do that because potassium can, it's bad for your heart to take too much potassium. You can kill someone with that. So be careful, but with your potassium, I do know that. But I know you could take as much fish oil as you want, but I would just take one fish oil a day with a multivitamin while you're pregnant. And I know brain development thrives on calcium because when I studied the brain for a while and all that, your brain just thrives on these things. And it's good for brain development. Between the calcium and the fish oil, your baby should be fine with the regular multivitamin. Because, I mean, this is why we're put here on this earth. Before we die, we're supposed to procreate, and then we die, and there is where we have our kids. Oh, I didn't know if you left Sky Blessings. Or I guess you were out doing something else. Boy, my Raven's not horrible. Look, maybe I am ready for the Raven. I know pretty soon I'll be getting a computer. Maybe I could do my cover art for my book now. I'm so excited. That's cool. You guys could see each other's responses. I can't even get into my flip anymore. I have problems with this, and everybody in my life is busy. So I'm still locked out of Facebook because Google says there's security issues. I cannot get to any of my Instagrams. The only places I could go is here in TikTok with my Google. And everybody tells me that maybe this is a good thing. They say I make money over there, and then they find a way not to pay me. This is what me and Facebook have problems with. I legitly should have gave me $100, but they find a reason not to give me $100, and I'm just tired of playing their games. Being a content creator over here and TikTok is way easier and better. I will say that. Alright, you wanted a general reading. So let me give you a general. But yeah, I'm kind of sad because I used to snoop on all my friends' Facebook, and I can't do it no more. And then everybody's talking about these viruses and everything they're getting. And Google literally has locked me out because I pay for their damn security. Oh, you're welcome. I don't I don't have that much traffic over here, and I'm glad. I don't know how these live streamers talk to people when they literally have 100 comments at one time. I give them props. They're the GOAT. These people that could do this, because I don't know anybody in the world that could do this. But Sky Blessings, your reading, your general is in Full Moon Sagittarius. And this isn't terrible. I don't have a bad deck. I have Oracle cards. Oracle cards are just they don't say anything bad or at all, and they give suggestions. This is why I like them. I do not like regular tarot cards. They sometimes you can predict death and this and that. I don't like to predict death. I'm not one of these crazy witches over here trying to predict death. I'm okay with that. That's just not me. But you are in a full moon in Sagittarius, and this just means that I feel you're upset about something, and you're not about something that happened, or there's something that's going on, and you think it, and this is like when you think things are the end of the world, and they're not. It's like something bigger happens before something smaller comes in, type thing. And this has happened to me plenty of times in my life. And then you got a new moon in Leo, and it just talks about having more confidence in yourself. Which we all sometimes have low self-esteem. Crazy stuff happens to everybody all the time. That's just how this world is. And then you got a fixed moon also, and this just means to hold your visions and what you want, just keep it in mind and don't give up on your dreams. So I see you as an ambitious person, and you have big dreams and stuff, and the cards are just saying you're going to get there. Just have more confidence in yourself and hold on to what you want to do and don't give up on it. So I see there's a pursuit of something, and they just want you to know that it's okay. I mean, I'm up here just having fun. Maybe just try to still do it, whatever it is. Oh, you had your connection interrupted. Okay, yeah, that happens to me all the time. I get it. I have a phone that's 5 years old that's connected to my computer. How do you manage your finances? Oh, my husband makes the money. I work 32 hours a week, and I was sick, so he works 6 days out of the week, and I stay home Monday through Thursday. And then when I do work, they give me easy units, because I done told Connie, my DON, that I'm old. And she told me, no, you're not. And I've been working here, I tell you, I've been there for 10 years. And before then, I was at the kids' home. I was at this other nursing home for like 10 years, and I left because I was working with the kids and they got rid of them. I think I've told you that before, but since I got sick, my husband doesn't want me working like that. So this is what I do. I just stay home, and he told me if I want to live stream. He comes home, pays all the bills, and I help out with bills, but he pays for most of all my artwork and all that. That's why sometimes I hook up my phone and my computer and stuff. And I'm very good with that kind of stuff for some reason. I'm very good with like doing weird things like that. And I'm very good at just saving what I have. Just like this outfit, this was clean, and I just put it on, and I just don't care. I'm not one of these fancy people. I mean, if I was sick as hell, I thought I was almost on my damn deathbed and came back. So I figure if I can come help a couple people out, because my husband wants to work himself to death because he doesn't want me getting overworked, I might as well. And to me, I mean, I know from just being more spiritual and having my mind expanded when I was younger and stuff, I just know money doesn't matter in this world. And if you fixate way too much on the money, you don't really get far. I mean, I literally never thought I'd be up here, and I was just doing my little dog walking videos, and one day I was here. So, I mean, life happens, and it happens quick, and if it's meant to happen, you don't need the money. It will literally come to you one way or another. My husband just landed good jobs. He works in the kitchen, and he does maintenance. Oh, my jaw got infected. I had poison all in here, and they had to go and they had to cut my jaw and take out 4 teeth and add 40 stitches, and that was going towards my heart. So they had to. It was. I have good insurance. That's why I work 32 hours because my insurance at the nursing home is better than his. So, and my boss knows that I've been having problems here and there with my teeth, and I had to wait, and they did a $50,000 operation on my jaw and I got 40 stitches. They cut my gums. That's why I'm so thin. I just up and dropped like I was drinking out of a straw for a while, and I had nothing to do. I mean, so one of my residents was a famous artist, and he got real, and I was taking care of him, and he ended up passing away. But for years, he's been telling me how to draw. Years. So and when someone dies, I know it sounds insane, but when someone dies and they try to teach me something, I honor them by trying to learn what they were trying to teach me. That's what I do. And Thomas Denny, rest in peace, he did all the artwork for the Cleveland Indians, which is not the Cleveland Indians anymore, but because the Native Americans are, you know how they are. They thought it was an insult, which I did not think so, but they had to change the name. But he did all of the sketch work for them, like all the players. And he was just really, really famous. I mean, he can sketch a portrait and then do the pastels. That's why I'm halfway decent with pastels. He passed on his knowledge, and his family would never visit him. That's how we got close. His family totally would not visit him. And when they did visit him, it was when he was dying because he had money. His ex wife left him. And and when he was sick, she was acting like she was all sad. And I asked why they broke up. She just said she loves him, but she just didn't want to stay married to him no more. And he took care of her, gave her money. He had like over $1 million. So I don't know. I just felt bad for him, but he wanted, and we always would talk art because he was in a wheelchair, and for having such a rich, a nice enlightened life, I just felt like he didn't get a fair shake. I'm just layering tiny feathers over here because Tom used to tell me to layer these feathers. But but yeah, And then before that, before my jaw had to get fixed, it's always these little damn things that get me. But the jaw was the biggest thing. But when I ate, I was sometimes I would like to eat more like rare steaks when I was younger, and I ate this steak and I ordered it rare. Didn't think nothing of it, and my son came home from the Navy, and I wasn't feeling good, and I said I had to take a nap on the couch. So his crazy ass comes over, my son Brandon, and he was like, "Mom, I want you to start walk around." And I looked at him, I go, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I know you got to go to the hospital." And I dodged the doctors, and it's funny, Karan, because I'm the one person is I pretty much work with doctors and all that, but I'm the last one that wants to go. Nurses and medical assistants and all that, we're like the worst patients. We really are. I call them Dr. Kevorkians. But I ended up going there and they ended up admitting me in a hospital and they gave me this. They ended up giving me this experimental medicine because they said whatever I got from eating the steak, it was some kind of parasite. And it was growing all through my body, right in my intestinal. So when I finally got there, they said if I would have waited 2 more days, I would have died. And then I was in ICU and I was dying. Absolutely, I was dying, and I knew I was dying. And of course, my son was visiting me every day, and then I had this doctor come visit me. I always have these weird things happen to me, Karan. I have the weirdest life on the planet, I think sometimes. But anyways, I had this doctor. He came up and he asked me if I want to do this experimental medication, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And he just said, "I read your chart, and you don't have any health conditions." He said everyone in the United States that took it, there was like 20 of them in this study or something like that, and they all died except for one person. And I'm like, okay. And then he was just like, "Well," he goes, "you are going to die. I looked at your chart." And I'm thinking, okay, thank you. And I even told him, "Thank you, Dr. Cheerful." And he was just like, "Well," he goes, "I'm offering you this." And I just said, "Well, I go, if God wants me to live, I'll live. Give me your medicine." They put it in my IV. I flatlined 3 times, which they said that was normal with this medicine. You'll flatline 3 times and then you come back. And it was experimental. They're just trying to figure it out. And they said if you live, you look younger. I lived. So there we go. I've had some weird stuff happen to me in my life. That's why I tell you guys this. There's just not a lot of people that go through these different kinds of things like me. I think. I don't know. I really think I was meant for something big, but I don't know what that is yet. I don't know if it's because my kids couldn't function without me or if I have something bigger that I'm supposed to do. I don't know. So it is what it is. But I stay home, and then when I do have my units and I work them, if I feel like I'm getting stressed out, I pretty much sit down and tell everybody leave me alone. And then when they get attitude with me, some of the other aides, I tell them where to go and how to go there. And then I go home. My brother calls me the Pillow Princess. I get a ride there, I get a ride back Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Which isn't bad because I bring home like, for only work at 32 hours, I make after taxes like 1,500. So it's like almost 3,000 a month, which isn't bad, honestly, because I don't need a lot of things. I clean a lot. So I find everything, I clean it, and then you could keep. I have some residents that tell me they've had the same clothes for years. And I can see why. If you have enough clothes and you got a rotation, or you alter your clothes, you can have the same clothes forever. And most of my clothes I've had for 5, 6 years, and I keep finding these clothes I didn't even know I had. So it's kind of where I go with it. But that has been my sicknesses. All right, I'm just adding a lot of these and just kind of stacking. It's like you're going up and over and making a tiny leaf shape. It's like a leaf, but you can use it for feathers. If you guys are interested in drawing ravens or birds, I just have an affiliation with the raven. I I see ravens in my dreams a lot, and I always have. I just like them. I vibe with these. I vibe with my ravens, and they're so smart. Oh my god, are they smart ravens? I love them. Over here, the feathers start coming out, so we're gonna start bringing these out. Yeah, ravens. They actually have funerals for their people. I've never known an animal that actually has. They gather, and when one of them die, they actually have a little funeral. I find it very cute that they do this. Because how many animals besides us have funerals for their people? That's probably why writers find them so fascinating. And they do. Edgar Allan Poe found them very fascinating. I find them very fascinating. I just find it very interesting how they kind of move around, and I'm just doing curvy lines here because it's a little furry by his neck. But yeah, I do like that they're very smart, and I do like eagles too, but I want to say that I'm more affiliated with the raven. In death, I seen the raven and I seen the reaper, and I tell you, it was some of the best experiences of my life. When I flatlined, it was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I did come back obviously because I'm here talking to you guys, and I got the Dr. Kevorkian's medicine, but they told the but the Reaper told me I had a bigger purpose. So I'm kind of making curvy leaves now without the veins, and these can serve as feathers. And I think they look good when it comes to birds. I just kind of learned this on my own. And you can move these feathers in any different position. And it kind of adds to the coolness of your bird. It really does. They're very cool. They're some of the coolest birds I've ever seen. I really like all birds. I wanted to always have a pet bird, but sometimes they don't like me. I went to the pet store once and they try to bite me. This crazy bird. I couldn't believe it. I love my animals too. You think that they would have liked me, but this bird was just out to get me, and I was just like, and they were trying to show me in PetSmart. Oh, this is a good bird. It's okay. I was like, oh, I'm good. This animal doesn't like me like that. I'm okay with it. Because if I'm one of these people, if I get an animal, I'm keeping them. Dogs love me. Cats really love me. I don't know. I've always vibed with cats, but since I got my service dog, which he is a service dog, I don't like to. I guess I don't like to advertise he's a service dog because of some of these YouTubers over here. They just get so excited and they just flash that they have a service dog. And I don't know. I kind of just think it's just sometimes too much when they do these things. Oh, they have little veins on some of these on this raven. Okay, well, I guess we'll put tiny veins, like real faint ones in some of these feathers up here. I guess even in these feathers there's a little veins, just like leaves. So there we go. But I don't know. And I'm not even trying to say anything against my fellow YouTubers. Not at all. I'm just saying that I'm not trying to flash Chong off and make him special because he's a service dog. I'm not. He's a dog. Just like I'm a human being, he's a dog. That's it. And some people just I get it that some dogs do a little more like those male noses, the smartest dog in the world. But to me, all dogs are special, just like all people are special. That's just how I feel. And then some of the YouTubers that do have a service dog do this, but he is my service dog. But this is not hard. It's just like doing tiny leaves, and then you can make bigger leaves. And if you practice like your leaves, just like his feathers are just like leaves, and then you put a small vein in here. That's a technique you can use. I have learned. I'm gonna put this sideways. It's very nice to do. Just like I'm bringing this down, and just so you're making a leaf, but you're not, instead of making it real pointy, you're doing a pointy, but bringing it in, not making it too much. You're shading it out, and then putting a small vein, and then you do the same thing over here. You're making a small leaf with a small vein on top, and then just connect them on top of each other, just like that. And you can put them different ways when you're doing birds. And this one goes all the way down some of his feathers, so and some of them are bigger, so we're gonna bring some down bigger, some down smaller. And then you can overlap some. You just bring them in like this, and then do another little vein here. You're just doing a small shade at the top, just to just to show an overlap. And you can do this for any bird. Like I said, I just like the raven. I just think he's cool. Ravens are very spiritual. All animals are spiritual, but I don't know, ravens are extra special. I feel they are. They always say a raven's there when you see a lot of ravens, someone's dying. I've heard a lot of old witches talk about this all the time. And then in all those scary movies they went for like The Omen. That's one of my favorite movies. I am a movie buff. Being a writer, this would be my kind of thing I do. But yeah, just do tiny, just pretend you're doing a tree leaf. That's all I'm doing. Pretending I'm doing, I did the tree of life, so I get it. I get the pain and all this. And I'm just overlapping it coming down because in his belly, they're just overlapping it coming down. And then you can shade it like over that way too. You can bring them this way. It gives it a definition. Kind of makes it nice. Just kind of fill it in this way like that. There, just gonna kind of fill in his body. Even though this sketch I'm looking at doesn't have this, I think my sketch will be better like this. And you can, like, if you have like different techniques you want to use, but you're kind of looking at a base at someone else's. My mother-in-law says this is cheating. I honestly do not think it's cheating. You're looking at an image and trying to figure out how you're going to execute it. This does not mean you're cheating. But in her mind, she's cheating. Just like when you're a horror writer, just a writer in general, a lot of times one writer learns from another writer. I mean, a lot of things were already written. All you could do is cultivate your own style. It's really all you could do. And it is what it is. And I think I've cultivated my own style. That's why I'm over here sketching, because I feel that I should be doing my own artwork for it. Alright, now I'm bringing this down here. This raven's pretty good. I didn't even think I would be advanced enough to be able to do a raven. Ravens are rough. I mean, I have not attempted to do a raven in about a year because I've heard how hard it is. Because you gotta overlap everything and stuff, so I kind of been waiting. I know it sounds crazy, but I have been. I'm filling in all the feathers this way, and then I'm gonna like shade in certain areas where it smooths out. And I got the wing with real small triangles, if you see that. And I'm going to still use my pastels. Thank God for Tom Penny. Rest in peace, buddy. I'm gonna miss him. I really do. I already miss him already. He's been passed away for about 6 months now. So what can you do? Alright, I'm bringing all this way. And where some of this doesn't make sense, where it's fluffy, I'm adding more feathers. I feel that more feathers only makes it better. You see that, right? I'm very excited. This little guy's turning out good. I'm very excited. I actually feel better about my life. At least something good happened with today after dealing with all that stuff with my son with his ex. And having to go grab a cat, at least I'm able to draw a raven. Which I wanted to give my raven justice when I finally got to it, but I got this so far. Which isn't bad. And then in some areas it's darker, like towards the top and right by the wing. So what we're going to do, just do a shading over here. And I like to overlap wings and all that, and with the trees. If you practice on trees, This is what I did most of my main practice with, was trees. As crazy as this sounds, my friends, it really was where my main practice was. See, even though I did this, you kind of still see an overlap of his leaves there, of the, not the leaves, but the feathers. But I made it just like a leaf, but I did, instead of bringing the vein all the way down, I just did this. That's it. And then in here, right by his wing, there's another spot here. And I'm doing this because when I get to my one pastel, I'm going to half pastel this too. And then it goes all the way here, like shades around, so his wing seems nice. I put his feathers real small. And I'm probably going to do little veins on that also, like curvy ones. Just try to get some curvy lines in here. Just a couple. Because their wings are where most of their small feathers are. And you can do this with a wing. I'd like to be able to draw a dragon. That would be epic. I think that would change my life. See, things like this is what makes me happy. Sometimes that's when you know you got problems in your life, when this is what makes you happy. But art makes me happy. Alright. Now I think I'm ready for the other. And then when you're doing this pupil, when you shade, I've been shading with the pencil and then take an eraser wherever you want the white spot to be. That's all you got to do. And it turns out looking super good. Super good. And let me go grab my pastels. I got 2 sets. I got hard pastels, the chalky kind, and I got soft ones. So ravens are black. So these are my basic soft pastels. I'm gonna go ahead and get this executed here. Alright. And when I do this with the sketch, I'm just trying to accent my drawing. I'm not trying to overtake it with pastels. I feel it's not beneficial. So, just like in these little dark areas here, we're just doing a light touch with this. Just bring it over here. Bring it up this way. Because you still want to see some of your... I want to see some of what you did also. And I do like the chalky ones, but to accent my sketch, I like my basic pastels like this that aren't all chalky, which would be your soft pastels. And I was taught that from a great man that made all of those baseball players pictured. And then I'm doing this so it kind of looks scruffy on the end where all of my feathers are. There. Now I'm just doing real light. And you can do light with this. It's just literally like a pencil. You don't have to do all of it also. Like I'm gonna lightly shade in this with my pastel because over here it's more pronounced. And this just is how ravens are. Alright. And we're going to lightly do this area. Alright, and then you rub with your finger. Rub all of this in with your finger with this. You could rub with the chalk too, but I feel that if it's not all chalky and everywhere, it comes out better. And rub all in here where you got this too. You're just rubbing it all in. And if you're lightly rubbing, it's not going to be as dark. And even the edges, rub the edges. Rub everything that you did here. Because you don't want it to stay like this. No, you can't. Because if it stays like that, it just doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look pretty at all. You want it to look gorgeous here, as much as you can get it. See, we got that so far. See that nice just glow and accent to it? This is the thing that makes me happy. I don't have to go to the mall. I don't even need to go on a damn shopping spree, honestly. All I need to do is sketch it out. I'm going to redo his beak on the outside. And then I'm going to rub it. Because his beak is black. I want to rub as much hair. And you want to get that faint hint like that. That's what you want to do. And in here, I want it more pronounced also. So I'm going to that again and rub that. I'm just going to, instead of rubbing that, I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to define this because it's kind of like right here is where it separates with his feathers and stuff. And I'm probably going to have to touch up his eye. But that's okay. You see we got his head there. It's looking good. Now we just got to get the body in. So what you're going to do right around these feathers, you're going to come around here. You're going to get these feathers like this. You're just taking the outer rounds. I'm just doing the bottom portions. When I find a bottom portion, that's it. And I'm going to rub that in. That's where you get this nice effect that artists use. Which some artists will never tell you how they do it because that's, I don't know, it's like asking someone their recipes. I learned this from a lot of, from people that are done passed away, and I don't mind sharing the love. And I don't mind sharing the love from people that have shared with me their techniques. I'm not going to an art gallery. I'm not going to have my stuff in an art gallery. I'm not. I mean, I'm not that kind of artist. I don't know, just I'm not going to be one of those stuffy artists in an art gallery saying, hey, there's my painting. I'm good. Because I'm not a stuffy person like this. Alright, this, we're just going to come out this way a little. And then we're going to try to accent some of these feathers right here. Here we go. Feathers, pretty feathers. Alright. Now we're going to just do lines down. Now we're shading this out. See, once you get it all looking gorgeous and pretty, then you're shading out. And as you're shading out, you're seeing like, you still see what you did. You honestly do. And then like right here, I'm going to light shade this. Real light shades here. Alright. Just here. Alright. That didn't turn out good. So, that's all you gotta do to fix this up. Is do this and make small feathers. That's it. We're just gonna do real small circles here. Just to accent the little ones. You're making small leaves. That's it. That's how I think of it, as small leaves. Just wavy small leaves. And overlap the wavy small leaves. And I'm overlapping these leaves, and you can do it with your pastel. I'm just going in and out, little pointy leaves. That's pretty much what this looks like, how this artist did it, which is pretty much the standard for all of them, except they shade a little different. And then you're going to overlap these in between with little leaves. Just think of leaves. That's it. There we go. We're bringing it down. Almost like you're building tiny mountains. And then shade again. Blend it in. Much better. We got to overlap there, overlap there. Now this, for his eye, oh, that's pretty epic looking. I'm going to go over this again like this. And I'm going to go over this. That's why I like these oil pastels, my friend. Oh my god, they're amazing. This is one of the reasons I love them so much. Alright. There we go. There's our raven. And this was with a black oil pastel. You can't beat that. But I'm going to take my... Now that I got the raven done, I'm going to go ahead and do the body around him. Like all this little area here, I'm going to give it a different color. So, you can really do any color you want, but you don't want it to be, you can have it the same color as the bird, but you kind of want the bird or whatever you have to stand out. That's the thing. So, I'm going to go ahead and do this with a... Oh man, I'm finally tired, thank God. I'll be over here till I get tired. Because the husband's at work. Alright, I'm going to go with blue. Alright, we're going to take blue, my blue chalky one. Alright, and I'm going to go side by side with this. There we go. I like to give pizzazz to things that I do. I feel it's fun to give a fun background to something you do. It's probably not the most best raven. I'm probably going to practice with them since I want my book cover to be a raven. It's not horrible for my first time. I mean, these things, ravens are one of the hardest things, in my opinion, to draw, is a damn raven. Probably eagle too would be hard, because it's all the feathers and stuff you got going on. I'm gonna get blue on the other side now. And you could bring out any little thing, and like I said, it's the details in these birds. I'm sure an eagle is hard as hell too. I'm sure it is. One day when I get a little better, maybe when I can get this raven down pat, maybe I'll try an eagle. But eagles are very majestic, they're gorgeous, and I'm sure they're hard to draw. You just take your finger and blend it in. And it just kind of makes anything you do good. I mean, this is not bad for my first time. I didn't even think I would do this good for my first time, honestly. I got the beacon deep in decent position. It's not horrible. But I like to do this just because I think it makes it look. Yeah, I just think it makes it look better. If you go through all this trouble to make it looking fantastic, and then you got this blah black background, and you got this really pretty sketch in this background that just kind of looks very dulled out. What was the point? But here we go. There's our raven, friends. It's here. And I'm very happy with it. I'm going to put it in my little pile up. Enjoy the pile up here. But it's not bad for what it is. So, but I will see you guys tomorrow after my shift at work. And I hope everybody has a great day. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I hope everyone is doing well.